I don't want to go on some roller coaster ride and come off a different person.
Right now, the people have the power, is what I mean, for like a very short period of time. But this should just be a reminder of that. This song being able to go up into the iTunes charts, even with stuff with way bigger audiences, with all kinds of marketing reach. You know, the fact that this can just organically go into the iTunes charts like that, and people, you know, it's just. The people really do have the power, at least right now.
Singer-songwriter Oliver Anthony's populist anthem, Rich Men North of Richmond, went viral over the weekend, causing strong reactions from both conservatives and some progressives. Let's listen.
Everybody has been clamoring about this. We got 800,000 super chats about Oliver Anthony. Singer Oliver Anthony goes mega viral with song Rich Men North of Richmond. John Rich offers to produce record. In the song, Anthony grieves the separation between the average person in America and the class of rich men north of Richmond who want to have total control of decisions in this country.
Lord, my head's been hurting, my back's been aching, the water's drying up and there's a war in the making.
And this has already been the best crowd we've ever had.
So Rich Men North of Richmond has now debuted at #1 at the top of the Billboard charts, despite the media's rage over an unknown musician becoming a very, very famous person for writing a song that is very critical of the governmental left.
If there is anything for me to address at all with you, it's that you know, it's the one thing that has bothered me is seeing people wrap politics up into this. I'm disappointed to see, like, it's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It's aggravating seeing certain musicians and politicians act like we're buddies and act like we're fighting the same struggle here, like that we're trying to present the same message. You know, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I've tried to be polite to everybody, and I've talked to hundreds of people the last 2 weeks. But it seems like certain people want to just ride the attention of this song to maybe make them their own selves relevant, and that's aggravating as hell. The other thing that I find aggravating is, well, you know, like, it was funny seeing my song in the...
We sit here tonight.
It was fun.
The number one song on the Billboard chart is called Rich Men North of Richmond. It is by a singer from Farmville, Virginia, named Oliver Anthony. His lyrics speak of alienation, of deep frustration with the state of government and of this country. Washington, D.C. is about 100 miles north of Richmond.
These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men north of Richmond.
So, Governor DeSantis, why is this song striking such a nerve in this country right now? What do you think it means?
Our country is in decline. This decline is not inevitable. It's a choice. We need to send Joe Biden back to his basement and reverse American decline. And it starts with understanding we must reverse Bidenomics so that middle-class families have a chance to succeed again. We cannot succeed as a country if you are working hard and you can't afford groceries, a car, or a new home, while Hunter Biden can make hundreds of thousands of dollars on lousy paintings. That is wrong. We also cannot succeed when the Congress spends trillions and trillions of dollars. Those rich men north of Richmond have put us in this situation. And finally,
because it's like, I wrote that song about those people, you know? So for them to have to sit there and listen to that, that cracks me up. But it was funny kind of seeing the response to it. Like, that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden, you know? It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden. that song's written about the people on that stage, and a lot more too, not just them, but definitely them.
All gone in. Needles in the streets, folks hardly surviving on sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting, the rich keep thriving. All gone in. There's a little town somewhere.
Even, anytime you got into public now, it's just like, it's going to be a little different than it was. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm trying to deal with it, but all of it, when you talk to world leaders, when you step into politics a little bit, and you apparently stepped into politics, even though you never meant to, you're not a political person. That world is like, what the fuck? It's very intense, especially at an intense moment in history. In an extremely divided country. So
yeah, like saying that I'm not in politics, people are like, well, of course you're in politics. And I don't know whether I am or not, but it just, I do think a lot of people in politics, like as far as the people who sit on the internet all day and argue about stuff on X or on whatever, Facebook and all, like, I do think their heart is in it for the right reasons. They observe that there's a lot of things wrong in the world that they'd like to see different. It's just, how do you get those people out of this 4x4 square?
There is an evil I have seen under the sun, the sort of error that arises from a ruler. Fools are put in many high positions, while the rich occupy low ones. I have seen slaves on horseback, while princes go on foot like slaves. Since August of 2023, I have received a flood of messages, social media, email, handwritten letters. I've had I don't know how many conversations with people face to face, probably thousands at this point. And I realize now that we don't have any clue to how many around us are really broken, how many are silently suffering and barely hanging on. More often than not, they start the message with, hey, I'm a nobody, but, followed by horrors of addiction, mental illness, financial and household struggles, oftentimes incredibly complicated stories that I suspect they may have never told anyone before. But they still have hopes of a hopeful future, and they don't want to give up no matter what. And it kills me because these people, they aren't nobodies, as they describe themselves. Our modern society's convenient, comfortable, fragile little existence is oftentimes carried on the backs of these self-declared nobodies. And forgive my generalization, but in the modern world, we are so busy idolizing the genuine nothings of society, the self-centered celebrities, spineless politicians, clickbait social media influencers. It seems from my perspective that oftentimes these people live comfortable little lives while many of our real heroes are dragged through the mud and never once given a genuine thank you for it. But it's not just them that are hurting. We all are. I mean, that's why you're here at this conference, right? That's why people have traveled from all over the world to gather here. You all realize that it's time to do something.
In your situation, I read today that you had an $8 million contract offer that you turned down. I'm wondering if that's true. If it's true, why you did it, what your alternative plans are, and if you have like a real developed vision for what it would be like to keep doing what you're doing, but also be successful. That's a lot of questions.
Oh, that's okay. I knew what I was getting into when I came on the on the program. I understand. Yeah, music is important to me individually. Like these songs that I wrote for me, and inadvertently, it has helped a lot of other people, like not just Richmond, north of Richmond, but I've Got to Get Sober. Like that's one that I just recorded on my Android phone.
Basically, like this would have been the first time I played I've Got to Get Sober all the way through. Like I would just keep writing it and working on it, writing it and record myself. And maybe I would record myself 30 times over the period of like 2 months. You know what I mean?
Oh, but it's, when you say writing, you mean in your head, not actually typed out or written anywhere.
Right. It was just
It's
video.
like
It was mostly just video.
over and over, just videos.
I'm just trying to figure out how to make it. Yeah. But that's what all these are, like the audio file from all these videos is what ended up on Spotify and all that. You know what I mean? Like,
It's cool to see these videos before you blew up. So this is a good song. You're playing out guys. So what is this at the end?
Yeah, these were all.
Don't sell your soul, brother. This is the best music I've heard in a long time. That's a comment before you blew up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I had about 10,000 followers or something.
What a fucking song. That's a good one.
And you gotta think, like, this was, like, that was when I quit drinking, you know what I mean? Like, so that.
But the troubles and the sin of the world that we're in knock me back off my feet.
So that's coming from your heart right there. And just imagine the thousands of people you helped with that.
Know how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But it ain't gonna happen tonight. So pour 'em down strong till I drown. And if I wake up tomorrow when that sun comes back around, I'll be wishing I was sober.
It's so crazy how those cicadas and stuff come in. Like, I just felt like it was a god. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
The bird, like, that's just off my phone. All that stuff's just there, you know?
And the bowl, they've been saving my soul from the pain that the world's put on me. And Lord, I know that upstairs there's an old man who cares, and one day he'll set me free. I'll go on a whim, start writing a hymn.
That's a genius of a song. That's genius, brother.
It's just
That's genius.
It's just crazy to think about.
Like private music studio, and nobody has to hear it until you listen to it the first time. You're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like Oliver Anthony's new album.
I haven't heard it.
Bro.
Really?
Bro, there's a song. We're going to play the song.
Leak it.
You can't play it on the air. So we'll play
the
it.
same one you already sent me?
Oh,
I
yeah.
should have it already.
We'll play it, and then we'll react to it. Okay. I'll tell you guys. Cut all this out. I'll tell you guys what happened. So Oliver Anthony has no money, right? He's poor. He's selling farm equipment. He puts this song on YouTube. He's a fucking superstar, right? He doesn't know what to do. He freaks out. He asked me for advice. I call him on the phone. We have a conversation for like a fucking hour where I go, don't sign anything with anybody. And he's like, they're telling me I have to strike while the iron's hot. I go, bullshit. They're trying to steal money from you. I go, you're independent. You're already there. You already made it. I know if you wrote that song, I'm like, if you wrote that song, you could write a dozen of those fucking songs. You don't need anybody. He's like, they're offering me $7 million. I go, no. They're offering to steal money from you for the rest of your life. That's what they're doing. I go, you don't need them. You have talent. So cut to, he starts making millions of dollars, doing arenas. The wife divorces him. She wants everything. She wants everything. Whoa. She wants more than half. She wants all the money that he's going to be making in the future because she was with him when he was broke. So it's fucking crazy. He's just tortured.
What a fucking idiot.
Wants to die. Wants to die. And he writes this song.
Yep.
But she can have all the money, and they can keep all the fame. I go back to being broke as a joke if I could just get a break from the pain.